Have you ever wondered why your mind perceives things differently than they actually are? The world we think we know is not always as it seems. This is the fascinating realm of optical illusions, a place where our perception of reality is warped, twisted, and sometimes turned upside down. Our brains, remarkable as they are, can be tricked into seeing things that aren't really there. Consider the lines that seem bent but are straight, or the static images that appear to move. These are not just mere tricks of the eye, but rather intricate deceptions crafted by the brain's interpretation of light, color, and perspective. It's a testament to the power and complexity of our minds, but also a reminder of their fallibility. It's a fascinating journey into the world of illusions, a world that skews the boundary between reality and perception. That, my dear viewers, is the art of illusion at its finest. Imagine you're in a desert. You see water in the distance, but when you reach the spot, there's nothing. That's a mirage, one of nature's most fascinating illusions. A mirage, as many of us know it, is a naturally occurring optical illusion. This phenomenon is a result of light being bent as it passes through air layers of different temperatures. This bending of light, or refraction, causes the light rays to take an unusual path, leading our brains to perceive the image at a different location than where it actually is. Now picture this. You're trudging along a sandy terrain, the sun beating down harshly. You're parched, and then you see it, a glimmering body of water just a few steps away. Instinctively you rush towards it, only to find nothing, just more sand. That's a mirage in action, a cruel trick of nature playing on the desperation of the weary traveler. Mirages are not limited to deserts alone. In fact, they can occur anywhere where there's a significant difference in temperature between the ground or sea and the air above. Sailors out in the open sea have often reported seeing phantom islands or ghost ships, all thanks to the deceptive mirage. But these illusions are more than simple tricks of the mind. They offer a powerful insight into the science of light and perception. The light we see is refracted, or bent, as it travels from one medium to another, in this case from the hotter air near the ground to the cooler air above. This change in direction fools our brains into thinking the light is coming from somewhere it's not, creating the illusion of water or some other reflective surface. So you see, mirages are not just figments of our imagination, but rather natural phenomena grounded in the laws of physics. They demonstrate how our perception of reality can be easily distorted by the conditions around us. So the next time you think you see water in a desert, remember, it might just be your eyes playing tricks on you. From Houdini to David Copperfield, illusionists have always astounded us with their mind-boggling tricks. They have been bending our realities, twisting our perceptions, and challenging our senses with their artistry and skill. But who are these masters of deception, and how do they manage to create such captivating illusions? The history of illusionists dates back to ancient times, where magicians were revered for their supposed supernatural abilities. But with time, the art of illusion has evolved, becoming a craft of skill and psychological understanding rather than mystical powers. Take Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin, often considered the father of modern magic. In the mid-19th century, he transformed magic from a practice associated with street performers into a respected form of entertainment. He was known for his elegant style and innovative optical illusions, like the ethereal suspension trick, where he seemingly made his son float in mid-air. Fast forward to the 20th century, where Harry Houdini, the great escapologist, who took the world by storm with his daring feats of escape. Houdini's most famous trick, the Chinese water torture cell, involved him being suspended upside down in a locked glass tank filled with water, only to escape without a single drop of water being spilled. In more recent times, we've been dazzled by the likes of David Copperfield, who's been named by Forbes as the most commercially successful magician in history. Copperfield's illusions have ranged from making the Statue of Liberty disappear to walking through the Great Wall of China. But it's not just about the grand illusions. There's also the art of close-up magic, which is as intricate and mind-boggling as any large-scale illusion. Consider Shin Lim, a two-time winner of America's Got Talent, who specializes in card magic. His sleight of hand is so precise and smooth it's nearly impossible to catch him out. What all these illusionists have in common is their understanding of human perception. They know how to manipulate our senses to make us see what isn't there, or miss what is. It's a delicate dance between the illusionist and the audience, where the illusionist leads and the audience willingly follows. Illusionists also have a knack for storytelling. They weave narratives around their tricks, drawing us in with their charisma and suspenseful build-ups. It's a performance, a spectacle, and we, the audience, are an integral part of it. The techniques and tricks may have evolved over the years, but the essence of illusion remains the same. It's about creating a sense of wonder, of disbelief, of pure magic. And as technology advances, illusionists are finding new ways to push the boundaries of what's possible, continuing to astound us with their creativity and skill. And so, the masters of illusion continue to baffle us with their artistry and skill. They remind us of the magic in the world, and how, sometimes, seeing is not always believing. They are the puppeteers of perception, the artists of astonishment, the grand masters of illusion. And we, the enchanted audience, can't wait to see what they'll conjure up next. Art and architecture have a long history of playing with our perceptions. It's a fascinating dance where creativity meets illusion, and the result often leaves us in awe. Let's begin our exploration with the architectural marvel that is the Parthenon. This ancient Greek temple, dedicated to the goddess Athena, appears to have straight lines, a simple feature we'd expect in a structure. However, there isn't a single straight line to be found. The architects subtly curved the columns and steps, creating an optical illusion of straightness. This illusion gives the Parthenon its harmonious aesthetic, demonstrating that sometimes illusion can enhance reality. Moving forward through history, we arrive at the Renaissance, an era that celebrated humanism and saw a revival in art and culture. One of the most significant developments of this time was the discovery of perspective in painting. Artists like Masaccio and Brunelleschi began to use vanishing points in their works, creating the illusion of depth and three-dimensionality on a flat canvas. This technique revolutionized art, allowing artists to depict the world more realistically and dynamically. One of the most famous examples of perspective in Renaissance art is Raphael's The School of Athens. In this masterpiece, Raphael uses perspective to guide the viewer's eye towards the central figures, Plato and Aristotle. The illusion of depth is so convincing that you feel as though you could walk right into the painting. But illusions in art and architecture aren't confined to the past. Modern artists and architects continue to use illusions to create intriguing and thought-provoking works. Take, for instance, the works of contemporary artist Felice Varini. His anamorphic illusions rely on a specific viewpoint. From that vantage point, his seemingly random shapes coalesce into a coherent image. The moment you move, the illusion breaks apart, reminding us of how our perspective shapes our reality. On the architectural front, we have buildings like the Cafe Wall in Bristol, England. At first glance, the mortar lines between the bricks appear slanted, but once you measure them, you'll find they're perfectly horizontal. This illusion, known as the Cafe Wall illusion, demonstrates how simple patterns can deceive our brains into seeing something that isn't there. In conclusion, illusions in art and architecture not only challenge our perception, but also serve to enhance it. They push the boundaries of what's possible, encouraging us to see the world in new and exciting ways. Artists and architects use illusions to create experiences, to evoke emotions, and to make us question our reality. Thus, illusions have been shaping our perception of beauty and reality for centuries. But why do our brains fall for these illusions, you may ask? It all comes down to the way our minds process the world around us. You see, our brains aren't just passive receivers of information. They're active participants in our perception of reality, continually interpreting sensory data and filling in gaps based on past experiences. The brain is a bit like a detective, piecing together clues from our senses to create a coherent picture of the world. But sometimes, these clues can be misleading. When faced with ambiguous or conflicting information, our brains have to make a judgment call, and that's when illusions can occur. Take the classic example of the Mueller-Lyer illusion, where two lines of the same length appear different because of the way their ends are angled. Our brains interpret the lines as indicating depth or distance, based on our past experiences with perspective. That's why even when we know the lines are the same length, we can't help but see them as different. But it's not just about perspective. Light, color, contrast, and movement can all play a part in creating illusions. For instance, the infamous dress that divided the internet into blue and black or white and gold camps was due to our brain's interpretation of the image's lighting. Scientific studies have thrown light on the subject, revealing how deeply ingrained these perceptual processes are. Research has shown that even newborn babies respond to certain optical illusions, suggesting that some aspects of our perception may be hardwired into our brains. Neuroscience too has provided insights into the mechanisms behind illusions. Functional MRI studies have shown that when we experience an illusion, specific areas of our brains light up. These areas are involved in processing visual information and making sense of what we see. It's like our brains are doing a little extra work to try and make sense of the deceptive data they're receiving. But why should our brains be so easily fooled? Some scientists suggest that it's because our brains have evolved to make quick, efficient decisions based on limited information. In the wild, it's better to make a fast, potentially inaccurate judgment than to take too long and risk missing out on a crucial opportunity or threat. So in a way, falling for an illusion is a sign of our brain's incredible efficiency and adaptability. It's a testament to the remarkable way our minds interpret the world around us, making sense of a complex array of sensory data in real time. So while illusions may trick our eyes, they reveal a lot about how our minds work. They remind us that perception is not just about what we see, but how we interpret it. And that's a fascinating insight into the nature of reality itself. You may not realize it, but illusions are all around us. They're not just confined to magic shows or art galleries. Every day, we encounter illusions in the most unexpected places. Let's take fashion, for instance. Ever noticed how vertical stripes on a dress or a suit can make a person appear taller and slimmer? That's an optical illusion at work. Our brain interprets the vertical lines as an extended height, tricking us into perceiving the wearer as more elongated than they actually are. Similarly, in interior design, illusions are used to manipulate our perception of space. A room with a low ceiling can seem taller by painting it a light color, while a small room can appear larger with the strategic placement of mirrors. These are all clever uses of illusions to create a sense of spaciousness where there might be none. But it's not just in the world of fashion and interior design where illusions hold sway. They're also prevalent in advertising and marketing. Ever noticed how certain products are photographed from specific angles to make them seem larger or more appealing? Or how food companies use colors to create illusions of freshness and quality? That's all part of the art of illusion, carefully crafted to influence our perceptions and ultimately our buying decisions. And let's not forget about the digital world. Various software and apps use illusions to make interfaces more intuitive and engaging. From the three-dimensional icons on your smartphone to the parallax scrolling on a website, these are all illusions designed to enhance your digital experience. So, you see, illusions are not just about tricking the eye. They're also about guiding perception, influencing decisions, and enhancing experiences. They're woven into the very fabric of our daily lives, subtly shaping how we see, think, and interact with the world around us. So, whether we realize it or not, illusions continue to play a significant role in our lives. From nature's mirages to the tricks of illusionists, illusions have fascinated us for centuries. Today, we've journeyed through a world where reality is often not what it seems, where art, science, and everyday life are brimming with optical trickery. We've marveled at the mastery of illusionists, delved into the psychology of perception, and explored illusions from the ancient Greeks to modern-day architecture. We've seen how illusions have been employed in nature's grand scheme of survival, and how they continue to play a pivotal role in our understanding of reality. They serve as a reminder of our brain's incredible ability to interpret, and sometimes misinterpret, the world around us. And with that, we conclude our journey into the world of illusions. Remember, not everything you see is as it appears. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the world around us.